Good day, Alabama. This is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com reporting from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Alabama heads into practice number 8 on Friday. Our staff will have a full practice report as well as video highlights following Friday's practice. On Thursday, Nick Saban addressed the media and gave his thoughts on going to school and being a football player simultaneously, following UCLA quarterback Josh Rosen's thoughts that caused quite a stir and even threw a couple shots at Alabama. Here's what Saban had to say.
Hey, Coach. I'm not sure if you saw the comments or not, but Josh Rosen earlier in this week made the comment that being a student athlete, playing football, going to school, it's like having two full-time jobs. I'm just wondering how you've seen the demands on student athletes grow in your time as a coach.
Well, I don't know that it's changed a whole lot. I mean, we used to have two-a-days every day. We don't have any two-a-days anymore. We don't spend any more time in fall camp than what we did when I played as a player. We don't practice any longer through the course of the week. Look, I look at it the other way. We've had 23, 29, and 22 guys play with their degrees in the last 3 years in their last game playing in Alabama. So that means a lot of guys, even though football may be difficult, no one's here saying that it isn't. No one's saying school is not very difficult. Nobody's saying that getting a college education is not very difficult. But for a lot of those guys, being good football players is what created the opportunity for them to make a tremendous investment in their future by graduating from school. And I think that is a really, really good thing. Is it difficult? Probably. Was it difficult for me? Absolutely. All right, so I don't think it's any more difficult. It's just never been easy. But I do think the reward of it all, the lessons that are learned being a part of a team, the lessons that are learned being a competitor in an environment like this or any, college football program, the work ethic, the perseverance, the ability to overcome adversity, the lessons that you learn in life. I mean, how valuable can those things be? I mean, every day you're making a deposit for your future and your chances for being successful in the future. So I think the difficulty and the sacrifice is well worth what it creates for a lot of players. And I'm proud of the fact that we've graduated at a very high rate relative to everybody else, one of the top schools in the country, and that's our goal, is to create value for our players. So it is an opportunity. With the opportunity comes a burden. The burden is not necessarily easy. So I get that. And you do it for your teammates, and you do it for your future and your opportunity to be successful because you have a goal and an aspiration for what you want to try to accomplish and what you want to do in your life. I think it can make you a better parent. I think it can make you a better employee someday. I think it can make you a better lot of things.
Now, one area that the media doesn't get a lot to see is a special teams game, and Saban on Thursday gave his thoughts on the special teams, an area with a lot of question marks going into the season.
Going back to special teams, just how are the young guys at kicker and long snapper coming along, and what are you wanting to see out of them and the kicking game as a whole on Saturday?
Well, I think we have work to do there. I really do. I think the timing of what we're doing, not only with the specialists, but also with the other special teams players. So whether it's operation time, whether it's blocking schemes, all these things we're working really, really hard on. I think the snappers are certainly capable of throwing strikes. It's getting the other part right that I think is what, and I think there's good competition at the long snapping position. So we're looking at several people, and same thing with the field goal. So it's probably too early to tell, but I think what happens on Saturday, probably tells us a little more than what happens in practice.
Nick Saban also provided some intel regarding true freshman Henry Ruggs out of Montgomery, Alabama. One of the fastest players on the team already as a true freshman, Ruggs could potentially see time on special teams at punt returner as well as kick returner. Here's Saban on Ruggs.
Nick, in the return game, we saw Henry Ruggs fielding punts in Saturday's open scrimmage. What has he shown you as being a true freshman, a guy that can get back there and be trusted to field punts?
Well, I guess you don't really truly trust anybody till you see him do it in a game. All right, but he's done a nice job in practice. He's got really good ball judgment. He's very explosive, and he's instinctive as a runner. We have a little more experience back there with a couple guys that did it last year. So I feel a little more comfortable in that part of it. I think kickoff return is an area where we also have to get somebody and that can do it, and we're working Henry at that as well.
Also on Thursday, the media caught up with Alabama running back Damien Harris, who led the team last year in rushing with 1,037 yards. He provided some insight into the system under new offensive coordinator Brian Daboll. Here's Harris on his thoughts on the offense.
You know, we look at that every day. Coach Daboll likes to show a lot of clips from where, you know, back when he was with the Patriots, show us a lot of things that they did, show us exactly what he envisions for us to do. So, you know, us as running backs, we watch the film on our own, and we just kind of see what he likes to do with his backs and, you know, how he likes us to be used in the offense. So, you know, we just look at that, and then we go out on the field and we kind of tweak and, you know, twist things around and, you know, train to be able to do whatever is asked of us to do.
Harris also talked about the leaders emerging on this team after Alabama lost so much talent from the 2016 season.
I mean, it's always hard losing great guys like that, but you know, we have I guess the beauty of having guys like that is they taught a lot to the younger guys and the guys that we need to depend on this year. So I think a lot of our young guys on offense and defense, I think they looked at those older guys and kind of saw the way that they practiced, saw the way that they prepared, and, you know, just saw what it takes to be, you know, successful here. So I think that they're all taking that to a serious level, and you know, they're training just like those guys used to train. So we got a lot of young guys, but I think that you know, having those older guys that were so successful and that worked so hard and kind of paved the way for the process, I think that really helps out our younger guys. So, you know, they're working hard, and we look forward to seeing how they progress.
Alabama linebacker Rashaan Evans spoke to the media as well on Thursday and talked about his comfortability playing both inside linebacker as well as outside linebacker.
I've been working both, and I love both, to be honest. It gives me ability to be creative. You know, with pass rushing, I love to do different moves and, you know, just to try to get to the quarterback. And even when I'm in, you know, inside, I can just move and do other things, you know, tackle guys, cover. And that just gives me the ability to kind of show my athleticism.
Rashaan Evans, who is emerging as one of the alpha dogs on the 2017 team, talked about the mentality of Alabama's overall team going into this season.
Rashaan, do you see a different attitude or focus on this team?
Absolutely. To be honest with you, even with the fact that we got a lot of young guys, these guys, they come out to work and they love working. And I think that's really, to be honest with you, it goes with the atmosphere that we have on our team, the type of guys we got on our team. We got a lot of guys that come out there, they have fun with it. They don't just go out there knowing that, oh, we got another practice. It's like, hey, let's get this work and, you know, let's have fun with it.
In men's basketball, Alabama defeated University of Ottawa Thursday night 81-71. Avery Johnson Jr. led the Crimson Tide with a team high of 15 points. Dante Hall poured in 13 and John Petty scored 11. 6 players for Alabama finished in double figures. Freshman Colin Sexton sat out on the evening after suffering an undisclosed injury from Wednesday night's 84-71 loss to Carleton. Back to football, Alabama will have practice again on Friday as well as on Saturday. The team will hold their first scrimmage of the 2017 season on Saturday. Our staff will keep you posted on the news and notes that we receive and obtain throughout the weekend. Reporting from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, this is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com.